Okay. Hello and happy. Well, we're not in the full thick of the full moon, but the Aries full moon. Aries, the god of war, right? Hey. I happen to be an Aries. I'm sure you couldn't guess. But anyway, I just watched a funny little bit about calling women crazy and how crazy that actually is, and telling women to calm down and how unhinged, batshit, and insane that actually is. And I'm not going to be cliche and blame it on hormones, though that's definitely a factor. I'm going to look more at the societal embedded misogyny in that kind of tactic, right? So when you call a woman crazy, even if you think you're being funny or you think you're being, clever, or you're trying to lighten up the mood or even make her laugh, you just entered a volcano, right? This other comedian was talking about it as a tornado. I don't think that's strong enough visual. It's a volcano, and you threw yourself in. You saw the lava bubbling, and you decided to go for a swim. That's what happens when you call a woman crazy or you tell her to calm down. Because the thing is, there's a brewing and a stewing kind of situation that happens where we might let 27 infractions go from, yes, the socks or dirty towels on the floor or something. And I'm only using that as an example because I actually have never cohabited with someone or had to deal with that, because I can't imagine being a grown man and leaving your shit around the floor like your partner is a maid or a slave or a hired hand who's there to clean up after you, or your mom. That's insane to me. That's batshit. That's unhinged. That's crazy to leave dishes in the sink or do anything like that. That's level 1, right? Then we move on to level 2, which is when she finds out you've been sneaky, shady, cheating, lying, going on porn, secretly gay, fill in the blank, right? Anything that you are hiding about yourself. And when she discovers it, which she inevitably, intuitively will, and then you panic, and so you pull the crazy card, right? And the crazy card is still accepted. The race card is not accepted really so much. The, victim card has become a new thing where we actually start listening to victims now instead of shaming them. Hopefully that tide is turning. It's slow. It's a Titanic level slow, but the iceberg is coming, I've been called crazy. I've been called delusional. I've been called batshit. I've been called insane. I've been, all the things, all the names, psycho. I've been called everything in the book. And I'm a pretty calm person until I'm not, right? And so when you get to I always call like fire signs, I say when you're low energy or kind of near burnout, you're a tea light. You're still flickering. You're still having some warmth and light, but you're not lighting up the room. Like when you're in a pretty good place and you're a campfire, kumbaya, toasting marshmallows, someone's strumming the guitar, maybe we're telling ghost stories. Like that's the sweet spot for a fire sign, is when, we don't feel like you're telling us what to do or disrespecting us or ignoring us or pressuring us in any way, because that's volcano time. So that's volcano, and I will burn down your village with one look or one sentence, and you'll be crispy in the corner crying while I go off and have lunch, right? So, women get a bad rap. We are more emotional sometimes than rational or logical, but I think many of us have both sides fully developed. And so our ability to move back and forth between emotions and logic is a skill and a talent and a gift, one that most men do not possess, unless we're maybe talking a handful of, evolved men that I haven't met that group yet. But I look forward to it someday if they exist. I'm not man bashing there. I am just saying the things that I hear from myself and all my peers and our inner dialogue, and letting you in on it. If it triggers you, go to your therapist. But anyway, yes. So speaking of crazy and therapists, I have been in and out of therapy since I was 15 because I was pretty much the scapegoat and the outspoken, vocal, opinionated one in my family, and the truthful one in my very Irish, very Catholic, Irish American, very Catholic, very strict, who do you think you are, kind of family who would just as soon compliment you and then rip the rug out from under you. Tell you how wonderful you are and then tell you you're nothing special and that you should get over yourself. So that's the the confusion I grew up under, okay? And it's not even anything, terribly damning or damaging. It's just the way it was as Gen Xers in the 80s and whatever. And then throw some Italian in the mix. And if you get Irish and Italian, you better be able to be fireproof, because that's a lot of passion, shall we say. And that's the way to see it, as passion and fuel for creativity rather than a fire you need to put out, because that will not go well for you, right? You will get burned. Or as something to tame, or to be mesmerized by rather than to appreciate and warm yourself by, There's a difference, right? And so getting out of zodiac stuff or out of gender stuff, let's just talk about being human and humane, right? And honoring someone's dignity. So I have a history of, mental health challenges, as we all do in different ways. I had a suicide attempt and healed from that, crawled my way out of that hell, only to land in a different fire of an 8-year Illuminati targeting by people who wanted to call me crazy for seeing who and what they are and what they were doing. Now, do I have all the facts and details? Absolutely not. Do I have enough to know there's nefarious stuff going on in that realm? Absolutely. Do I second guess or doubt myself anymore or believe anyone when they try to call me crazy? No, I have 30 plus years of anecdotal evidence and lived experience that I am not, that I am too intuitive and that I am ahead of most timelines, that most of the things I think, say, feel, dream end up coming true later, so I'm not crazy, I'm early, right? That's something that I love, that phrase that I heard recently. And again, so anyone who wants to call you difficult, crazy, problematic, bitchy, whatever, they don't understand women, and it frustrates them, and it makes them want to lash out and crash out and Darvo you, which is deny, accuser and reverse victim or something, reverse victim and offender. Deny, accuse, reverse victim and offender. So basically it's a narc tactic for trying to get you to doubt yourself and your reality. And it's gaslighting, it's gang stalking when you bring in the flying monkeys and they all tell you you're crazy. And I've had people tell me to my face I'm crazy and then come back 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years later and be like, I thought you were crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's okay. And I let a lot of them off the hook, but I don't do that anymore now. I'm not going to be the punching bag or the doormat for your own deficiencies or your own insecurities. I'm just not going to do it. So anytime someone calls you crazy, think of it as a compliment and think of it as they're letting you know that you've triggered them. That's number one. They're letting you know that they're uncomfortable with how well you can see them past their persona and their curated image. That's number two. And they just feel threatened by the fact that you're not intimidated or willing to be bullied by them or deceived by them. So I'm not going to wear it as a badge of honor and I'm not going to run away from it, but I am going to see it for what it is, which is an abuse tactic and one not to put up with. Okay, so there you go. I won't calm down. I'm not crazy. And anyone who wants to throw those darts at me, they're coming right back at you in a boomerang, and it's going to be worse. So you might want to watch that. You might want to be careful about that strategy and approach because, yeah, it doesn't get you far. And it always, always backfires without fail. So there you go. Go and have a crazy, wonderful, delusional, insane, batshit kind of day because that's the times we're in. Mwah.